So following on from my previous videos where I've been dumping the Commodore 64 cassette tapes and crunching them and squeezing them onto a 90-minute cassette, a YouTube viewer left me a comment asking if it was possible to do a version of this using the final cartridge. So I have looked at this, and I'm using the emulator here because I don't own the physical cartridge myself, but it appears once you've frozen the system and you go into the freeze screen, you can get into the machine code monitor, which we have here, but it gives you this basic version, and I've yet been unable to figure out how you would exit from this back either into the cartridge utility screen or back into the game you were running or back into the program you're running, whatever. Quite often you do need to be able to do that, and when you try and find entry points and freeze in specific locations and things like that. So when you exit out of the machine code monitor in here, maybe you've made a change, or you think you've found the address and you've changed a jump statement or something like that. You do need to be able to get back out to see the effects of that, but I haven't been able to figure out how to do that. This just drops you back into the basic screen, which isn't really what we want to do most of the time. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do one of these videos using the final cartridge. So instead, what I'm going to do is try and crack the game Wizball. I have done this previously on my physical Commodore 64, but among all my scribbles of different games that I've been ripping, I've got dozens and dozens of jump statements and go-tos, this, that, and the other, and I have no idea which one relates to Wizball. So I'm going to do that one again using the built-in device monitor, which is a lot more powerful and a lot more convenient because we can cheat a little bit and use the built-in emulator functions to speed things up. So hopefully it won't take too long. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. So I'm first just going to detach the cartridge image, because that's absolutely no good to me. If you do, however, know how to get from the machine code monitor from the final cartridge back into the program, then by all means please let me know, because I would like to have a play with it. I know it's a very popular cartridge, but I've always used the action replay. I've never had any experience with the final cartridge. And to be honest, I was never really keen on, and I've just ejected it, but if I just put that on again, that's this one, isn't it? Yeah, I was never keen on this GUI system that they tried to implement. I found it really clumsy and not very user friendly. But that's just me. It depends what you're used to, I guess. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so the game we're going to go with, as I just said, is Wizball, which I've got here already. Wizball, the European version. I don't know if there was a difference. I think, actually, come to think of it, I think the NTSC version was a little bit different. It had a different screen layout. The icons at the top, or was it the bottom? The icons that are at the top on the PAL version, or at the bottom where the pots are on the European version. They kind of like alternate between the two. I'm not sure why that was. It could have been something to do with the screen resolution, the screen size, something like that. But anyway, so this is what I'm going to do. To get into the machine code monitoring device, it's you hold down Alt and tap M, so that brings that up nice and neatly for us there, and we can see what we've got here. As far as I can tell, the number that we stop on here at the beginning is the instruction that the machine's currently running at, so that's sometimes helpful if you want to know where at what point the program was when you stopped it. And obviously the same with any other monitor, you press X to get back out again. So I've got the tape attached now. I'm going to go ahead and load it as normal. And using the dataset controls here, I'm going to just hit start. Okay, and with the no, that I did not want to do. You know what I just did there? My caps lock key was on, so I just hit the button to turn it off. And obviously it acts as the run stop key in the emulator, doesn't it? So let's just do that again. So using the emulator, which is what I was just about to move on to, using the emulator we can skip this loading screen by hitting Alt and W, which puts us in warp speed, and down here we can see that the counter's churning along very quickly. Now it happens to note this counter will go up to about 118 before it stops. I'm just going to slow it down again now. We can hear the music still playing. And just as with the previous ones, I want to try and get it as close to the end of the loading process as possible. So another feature we can use on here, which saves us time of reloading if we miss our opportunity, we've got snapshot and I'm just going to do save quick snapshot image, which is Alt and S, and I know I'm at counter 100 here, so I'm going to put it back in warp again for a few more ticks. I need to get it to about 116 maybe, and when we're at 116 I'm going to do save again. About 118, 119 I think the game loads. Okay, so obviously I've let the game go ahead and load there. Now I did want to stop it beforehand, but luckily I can just go to snapshot, load quick snapshot, or Alt and L, and that'll put me back on that loading screen. There we go, and I'm going to bring up the monitor. So very quickly, let's have a look. Let's do search. I'm just going to search all of memory because it takes no time at all on the emulator. It's not like doing it on the Commodore 64 where it actually takes 20 seconds to search the entire memory. This will do it instantly. So what do we want? Let's just have a look for 8501, which is storing the value in. Straight away. Now I have done this one previously using the real Commodore 64, as I said before. I know that the value is held low down, and I also know that when we create a dump of this, what I usually do is I used to dump from 800 to the end of memory, like that, from 0800 to the end. However, with Wizball especially, it must use some of the lower memory because it didn't work successfully for me until I'd done from 0400 to the end of memory. So I know that I do need at least that excuse me, at least that much memory saving when I come to make the dump. So let's have a look. D0120, 5 fingers, and straight away we've got the result that I was looking for, the 8501, and then a couple of clear the interrupt, and then we've got a jump statement right here, 6389. So 0131, we're going to jump to 6389. So I'm going to write down 6389. I'll write the whole lot down. So 0131. Jump 6389. Now, Vice does allow you, just like the Action Replay lets you set the freeze point, Vice, the machine code monitor, does let you set a breakpoint. However, I can't always seem to get it to work, so I want to set a breakpoint for 0131, and there it tells me that it's enabled. So what it should do is, if I resume the program now, it should bring me back in before that program counter gets to 0131, before that gets executed. Now it does sometimes work this, but not always. So if the game comes on, I'll have to load it again and do it again. But if the monitor comes back up, then that's great. Yeah. Right, it worked that time. Excellent. Okay, so that automatically brought the monitor up. I didn't touch a thing, and you can see that it tells us here that it reached the breakpoint and the instruction that it was waiting on. So that tells me that the loading was finished there at 118. We know it got to 118 when the game did successfully load. So I'm guessing that's going to be the end. I'm going to go with that. So for now, I'm going to create a new disk. Let's do that. I'll put it in here with the one I'm working. Let's go Wizball. Create a new blank disk there. So that's a nice new blank disk, and then I'm going to, first of all, just to make sure that I'm running on the RAM. With Vice, you do bank RAM. This is the same as making sure that the ROMs are disabled. If you're using a real 64 with Action Replay, you don't want to be making a copy of the ROMs. You want the RAM area, just in case there's any game data stored there. You don't want the ROMs being saved. So after that, we'll do a save. Wizball drive 8, and then we'll go from 400 to FFFE. Interesting. When I've done this before using Vice, if you take it all the way to the end of memory like that, FFFF, for some reason I've had difficulty loading them back. I always find it works better if you do it for one less than that, which is FFFE. So that's what I'm going to do. You may be able to get it to work going straight to the end. I don't know why it sometimes fails. Always saves alright, but when you come to load it back, it's like it doesn't put it back in RAM correctly. I'm not sure. In fact, let's just for fun, let's just do save. I'll put save Wiz1 400. I'll save it all the way to the end, and we'll see if they both work. Okay, so we're at 0131, and I'm going to try doing a go command 6389. Okay, that launches the game for us. Just make sure the game. Okay, so we can start the game out. That's fine. So let's do a reset now. And this time let's start with the Wiz1, the one that I took all the way to the end of memory. Wiz1, right. And I'm going to give it the start address just in case it knows to start putting it in from R400. Yeah, see, this is the problem that I've noticed. Even though I only saved from R400 to the end, it tells me that it's loaded it from R400 to 0. So I'm just wondering if it's overwritten the 0. We'll soon find out, see if the machine crashes. Okay, now the machine hasn't crashed, let's just put it into the screen memory, that's not too bad. And let's have a look, let's try go 6389. Okay. Okay, well, even though it did come up saying that it'd taken it from R400 all the way back down to 0, it does appear to have worked. Make sure I can travel through a couple of these levels. Get down. This is one of my all-time favourite 64 games, however using the keys is not something that comes natural to me on this game. Need me good old zip stick really. Great. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, there we go. Alright. Yeah, it's certainly looking alright to me. It looks and sounds and feels as it should. So I'm fairly happy with that. So 6389. Write that down. 6389. No, I already had it written down. Perfect. That's the address that I'm going to use. So let's use Xmizer and get that compressed. Which one was it? One that took it all the way. Wiz1. Let's try that Wiz1. Don't know why this Deramaster app puts everything in the strange character format. Don't know why it does that. I typed it in lowercase as well. Strange. I don't know. Okay, so now we'll use Xmizer. Okay, so we'll do Xmizer, self-extract, give it the start address, 6389. Wiz1.prg, decompress. Output Wizball.prg. Let's call it. Okay, so we've gone from 64K, which is the entire, almost the entire contents of Commodore's RAM, to 36K. So let's see if that loads. Just reset the machine. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, I'll call it a do now. Hope that was some help for you. Any questions, any other comments or suggestions, please leave a comment. Thank you very much.